Hello, everybody worldwide. We're gathered again for another Funktasy Unmuted session. And today we're going to be exploring AI and how everybody is using it in the music industry. A lot of people argue that it's either used as a creative tool or a replacement. And a lot of musicians have a very strong opinion towards this in either a positive or a negative manner. Today, I'm gathered with my team and we're going to be exploring the many different sides of AI with music. Is it used for creativity? Is it just another way of laziness? Or can you be able to utilize both sides and be able to create beautiful works of art? And I'm here joined with an awesome group of people. And starting with myself, my name is Samuel McConan. I am an A&R manager at Funktasy Records, and I will pass it to the team.
Hey guys, so I'm Tommy. I'm another member of the A&R team at Funktasy Records, and I work together with Samuel and Aristo on the equity team, as well as Xavion has joined us, and we work together to find ways that we can monetize our music.
Hi everyone, my name's Shay. I am currently an A&R intern.
Hi, everybody. My name is Margarita, and I am currently an A&R intern.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacqueline and I'm also an A&R intern.
Hi everyone, I'm Xavier McLester. I'm an A&R intern on the equity team.
Hi everyone, my name is Kat and I am currently an A&R intern on the publishing and A&R team.
Hi, my name is Ben, and right now I'm heading the publishing team at Funktasy.
So, as we dive into today's unmuted session, we just want to start with a discussion question. And this is really going to break the ice and see how is AI being seen now and what is it in any difference compared to previous generations as we've seen sampling used in genres such as hip hop and EDM. We once thought that the synthesizer and the sampler were cheating. How is AI fundamentally different from these historical shifts present in these genres?
So
Um,
I think that AI aligns a lot with samplers and synthesizers, like how you were saying, just in the sense of the way that the technology is advancing and giving us a different advantages in the creative process. But I do think that the difference in this scenario is that AI is able to generate things, as opposed to like the other examples you mentioned, where it's just is used as a tool per se, whereas AI now has this ability to generate things in a way that a sampler you still have to manually do.
Kind of similarly, I think that synthesizers were, um, as you said, very controversial, but they were kind of a tool, a new tool for artists to use and experiment in their production, whereas AI, like fully automated AI, brings up more like ethical and copyright issues, because they just like you're able to generate a whole song without any sort of knowledge of the industry or how to write music.
I completely agree with everything you said. And another ethical dilemma that it does bring is that when AI does generate things, they have to pull from a database. So when we have AI generate certain songs, we don't know where it's getting it from. So that does pose a lot of copyright issues as well, because somebody who may have told the same AI to generate a certain thing, their next door neighbor could have asked them the same thing. So then it gets into the terms of where does this come from, who owns what, and how can we get the people the right legal backing that they need to be able to claim the song or the piece of music as their own.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like there's so many different ways to make eggs, right? At the end of the day, it's still eggs. So when we look at how AI is being used, I think there's the control to have, right? You can be artistic, you can be able to, be experimental. AI allows you to kind of take on that next layer of how can I be more creative from my original position. And then you have the, just okay, I can just come up with a prompt and then I have a song, no effort, right? It's just type and then boom, you got something on your hands. And as far as regulations go, it's really hard to have that, on a legal side of things where things are not being compromised or there's no issues down the road with, ownership of these songs. So it really goes into, at the end of the day, are you captivating your audience and are you able to create that emotional experience for the people that are coming across your song? So it really just goes into seeing how can AI be used, fair play, everyone's having fun, and at the same time, it can still be used as a tool to take music to new heights. So, I know right now that there's just a lot of going on with the AI and the whole lawsuit with Warner and Suno, and how, Suno was seen as a threat. And a lot of people say, oh, Suno is just lazy and, you can't really do a whole lot on your own end and make it more, creative. But I kind of disagree with that because Suno can maybe add different sides to your music creation experience that allows you to maybe take further on what you originally planned when it came to, producing your song. So I guess I just want to open up and really see, where do you guys stand with, can AI be completely lazy or completely creative, or can you use both sides?
In my opinion, there are two ways to use AI in music. For example, the lazy use lets AI generate full songs or streams with a very little human input, while creative use treats AI as an instrument or an idea generator, where the human still makes the key artistic decisions. So you can choose which one you want to be, lazy or creative. Because I think a lot of artists can use AI in a very positive way, in my opinion.
Right, I completely agree with you. Um, One way that I kind of want to look at it is from a different perspective of how the public may perceive AI. I've seen on multiple times on social media or in different kind of forms of content where people have used AI generated music or AI generated animations when it comes to Sora 2. When people realize that this is AI generated, how we are today culturally and how our brains are kind of wired is that when we see something's AI, we automatically get that stigma or that connotation that it's like, oh, this is AI, I don't even want to look at it, or this is AI, I don't want to listen to this no more, because it's that laziness attachment that's to AI. So I feel like in this current day and this current kind of structure that we have behind I feel like it's not necessarily socially acceptable currently. Now that could change years down the line to where the AI is like AI generated music or content is more acceptable and it's more kind of normal in a sense. And just like how it was with synthesizers and just like how it was with sampling. So I feel like it's always going to be that potential in the future for it to become something that's bigger and more acceptable in the industry. But currently right now, it's a stigma that it's lazy.
I think there's
Right.
ways to go about it where being more lazy can kind of allow you to be more creative in a certain sense. Like maybe using Suno is a different thing because it's generating everything for you. But if you don't know something similar to when you're doing work or like homework at school even, and you ask ChatGPT like, hey, what bunch of chords go together that can create this emotion that I'm trying to make. And then you go do it yourself, and then you've learned that and you know that for the next time that these are chords are in relation to each other. So it's not like there's ways to go about it where being lazy can kind of allow you to unlock new ways to be creative.
Indeed, I agree. And, as we're seeing more and more AI music being pushed out, now we start to ask the question, how much of a use do humans have, entirely in the whole initial from start to finish process of making a song? And, when you think about it now, it's like human talent is going to be like dinosaur bones very soon. People are not going to need to say, I need to pay this person X amount of dollars to make my music. I can just let a robot do it for me. But could it also be a potential opportunity to capitalize and see, okay, maybe the market for humans to, have their hands on this whole music project might be a little bit more better as far as creativity goes. Is there a way where maybe human musicians can be a luxury good in the future? And now the need for humans entirely is going to be a big thing that will allow musicians to have not only full control, but also maybe they can be able to be paid more because people are now realizing AI music is not going to be able to replace entirely made music by people. So what are your views on that, guys?
I mean, if I'm understanding where you're coming from, I do think that if this progresses far enough, that it may come to a point where things that are 100% human made could possibly be marketed like how like organic food is, where and like sold at like a premium of sorts, you know? I could see that happening in the future, but I just don't know what exactly that would look like right now.
I would like to add that so far what I'm seeing in the industry is that record labels aren't really too focused on which musician is like the most talented, who could sing the best, but kind of people who already have brands and followings behind them. And I think that that has a huge part with just like AI being more accessible in the sense that like if anyone can make music, it's like what artists bring the storytelling aspect, which I don't think AI has completely nailed down as of yet or will soon.
I think that the problem with AI that I feel like often isn't discussed is that it has very long-term ramifications because an AI making music doesn't innovate at all. It just regurgitates what it can find. And music as we know it today is built upon generation after generation after generation for thousands of years, taking music that they've heard growing up and doing something new with it, using it as inspiration, innovating, making something new. And AI just cannot do that as it stands. It can only imitate what it can find online. It will never use it as inspiration to innovate. And so if we start relying on AI for music, we're basically shooting ourselves in the foot civilizationally. And music will just go completely stagnant and we'll need humans to come and make something new, trendy.
I agree that with what Ben said that AI will never be able to innovate, but I am, I guess, just curious to see like as it learns how much better it will get in terms of like being able to reproduce music. I don't think that it will ever fully be able to like innovate, but it'll be interesting to see how much it like develops.
Of course, yeah. And, as we're seeing, technology just, upgrading and changing, it's like every single day there's something new going on. It's like we have to also remember it's like humans have existed for thousands of years. Like we have so much up our sleeves that we can be able to use outside of AI. AI just makes the process a little bit more creative. And the question on will AI replace human music, like human created music from start to finish, like entirely human? I don't think so. But at the same time, there's also going to be that shift where people are going to maybe favor AI music over human music. I can't say who that's going to be, but I can say that as we're seeing technology, progress as the days come by, as the days go by, we're seeing that technology is really taking on that next shift. So, really, it's just a matter of what are you looking for in music? Are you getting that emotional experience? Because at the end of the day, music's supposed to create emotion.
Something I think that might happen is I'm not sure exactly how this will affect the industry in business terms, but I do think that similarly to like how the algorithm on TikTok and Instagram Reels can learn about you and the things that you like and feed you more of what you want to see. I think some of these AI generation music platforms will start to be able to incorporate algorithms that'll learn what it is that you like that it generates for you and start to be able to dig more in those corners when you prompt it.
I think artistry might become just like a bit more rare to find because this generation is kind of already leaning towards not really liking a particular genre or a particular artist. So I think just the idea of like an individual producing a song and then, being a fan of them is definitely going to become a little less prevalent than it was before. So yeah, that's like my prediction for the next 5 years.
I think from what I've been seeing, I guess in like the general population, I find is kind of resistant to AI music in general, but I think there will always be some people that just don't care what they listen to. So I guess, yeah, but I think overall, like most of the population will be against it.
I think AI is definitely just gonna keep getting more popular as like the years go on. I know when AI first started getting introduced into music, I know it was kind of tailored around like changing your voice and having like a person write a song, but they sound like Drake or they sound like Playboi Carti. So that already, in a sense, got a lot of like traction and a lot of support. But from like an ethical and like legal standpoint, that's a no-go. So I feel like as the years go on, we've already seen people like AI before. So it's only going to keep getting more and more popular. So one day we're going to be on Spotify and we're all going to be listening to AI artists that we all like. So it's only a matter of time.
I agree with that. I agree it's gonna be every day more popular. The only thing it's that it's different if an art like Drake, for example, uses AI for his new album, and then he has the live performances. While now, I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram, there's these like artists that are AI, they don't exist, and they make music, and they actually are kind of viral, some of their music. That could be popular, yes, but I mean, people really like the live experience of an artist. So that could actually also be a problem. And it could bring that to less popularity, in my opinion.
Yeah, and on that note, I think I like to add if we're gonna have a lot of AI artists coming up, maybe instead of people going to an actual venue to see a concert, maybe those concerts might be in VR headsets because these AI artists aren't real people. So then if they create like a virtual hologram experience and you just put your VR headset on and you're technically at a concert, I think that might just change entirely what that's gonna look like for the concert scene. And I don't know if that's going to be something that they're going to incorporate into, their venue services. Like maybe you go somewhere to see a concert and then everybody puts their VR headsets on. But then that takes away from like the social energy, right? Being able to see one another, interact, talk to people, get a feel for the atmosphere. So it's really weird. It's a gray area at the moment with how I'm seeing things, but definitely I agree. Like it's going to try to either improve the in-person experience or it might just shatter it all together. So, we don't know where the future is going to go, but we know it's definitely not going to be anything like today. So, yeah, just scary times slash interesting times we're living in right now. But I'm really excited for what the future holds. And on that note, I just want to say thank you for everybody that was watching. And this was our very interesting unmuted session. And we will be back with more interesting stuff to talk about as the music industry is always evolving as the days go by. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.